Hey, Professor. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to be presenting with Group 6. My name is Keaton, and we're going to be going into how a company would actually produce entering the agricultural market in Morocco. In our slides today, we're going to be going over our members, the products in the market potential, competition, recommended entry modes, and our actual recommendations for doing business in Morocco. Our team members today are myself, Kian Rourke, Morgan, Anson, Mansi, and Matula.
The agriculture industry at large focuses on producing food or crops for consumption. The Moroccan agriculture industry can be divided into three major factors where we get our products from. This includes export-oriented farms that produce fruits and vegetables, large-scale dam-irrigated farms that produce dairy, sugar, and seeds, and rain-fed agriculture that produces olives, pulses, and red meat. When examining Morocco's agriculture import, it accepts bulk commodities and raw materials that they can turn around and produce high-value consumer-oriented products that can be exported. This chart shows the top import products from US to Morocco, including soybean meals, tree nuts, corn, and distillery grains. When examining Morocco's exports to other countries, some of the popular products include wheat, olives, fruits, and dairy. In addition to the US, Morocco exports high volumes of products to Spain, France, Italy, Turkey, and other countries. As with any industry, when entering a new market, you always want to be aware of existing key players. For Morocco, these include continental players consisting of Ethiopia, Nigeria, Tanzania, Kenya, and South Africa. And on a global level, these players include established and modernized markets in China, India, America, Brazil, and Russia.
My name is Anson Nguyen. I'll be talking about market potential. So based on our research, the market potential for agriculture in Morocco is high because of these following reasons. The country has a large population and a growing economy. The country has favorable agricultural climate with warm, dry summers and cool, wet winters. The agricultural sector in Morocco accounts for around 15% of the country's GDP and employs 40% of the workforce. Most important crops in Morocco are wheat, barley, oats, corn, rice, tomatoes, orange, lemons, olives, and almonds. Morocco is also a major producer of phosphate, which is used in fertilizer. The country has attracted several large multinational companies to invest in this sector. It is a major destination for foreign agricultural investment. The Moroccan government is investing in the agricultural industry by providing subsidies and incentives for farmers. As the demand for food increases, the agricultural sector is expected to grow. Morocco is now one of the world's leading producers of citrus, fruits, olive oil, and vegetables. However, the Moroccan agricultural sector faces several challenges, including a declining water table, soil degradation, and a lack of skilled labor. The government is working to address these challenges through several initiatives, including developing irrigation systems and promoting sustainable farming practices.
Thank you, Anson, for covering the market potential. Now we will dive into the competition. So the top product is olives. Olives are the most valuable product amongst competition. They are bringing in over 1 billion in direct consumption. So being that olives are a top product, most of the farmers, they are going to want to have olives at their market to bring in that money for them. The second thing is the farmers. There are two types of farmers, the rural and the urban farmers. So there is competition going on amongst them because some of them have inherited lands, some of them are having to buy lands, and there is rising land costs. And that is just leaving the farmers to have competitive pricing. And then technology, that is another competitive asset to have for the farmers in Morocco. So the more technology advancements that you have, the more increase in competitiveness and productivity you'll have. So some examples of the technology advancements would be satellite and drone imagery, sensors, and weather data. Okay, and then there is a biannual local product competition. So this has been going on for about 5 years, biannual, not consecutively. And this is a part of the Green Morocco plan for the promotion and development of local products. So there are a ton of local farmers and there are a lot of products that are not out there, that they don't have a lot of eyes on them. So just being able to bring them to this competition whenever it comes really helps out the local farmers gain more money for them. And I am going to pass it over to Kian to go into entry modes.
Hey, so I'm going to be addressing the recommended entry modes and potential barriers into actually entering into business in Morocco. Now, the team at first wanted to address a number of high impact considerations, beginning first with just past trends in doing business with Morocco. Morocco has historically been dependent on imports. It's a net importer, does not export as much, and the US is one of those primary importers, being a large source of grain and bulk raw materials that are primarily used to feed livestock. Morocco has also struggled to develop its agricultural sector in the past due to technological and social limitations. As a result of the farms being structured as individual family-owned farms, mostly focusing on subsistence farming and selling off a small amount of its product for profit, and past financial insecurity of the region. So with all this in mind, the team came to the initial conclusion that exporting would most likely be the safest, most effective way of beginning doing international business in Morocco. It's traditionally the lowest risk option and follows trends in international trade. However, we wanted to dig in deeper and actually consider current trends, which, in looking at them, totally changed our minds. When looking at changes in trade trends, we find that there's actually been a year-by-year continual decrease in US imports. Morocco is just more conveniently located to the Mediterranean and the EU, and year after year, that Mediterranean access has resulted in an increased dominance in EU imports or exports to Morocco and a year-by-year lowering of US exports. Beyond that, and playing into that, there have also been recent extensive tariffs on grain importations that particularly hurt US trade, which primarily is comprised of grain imports. And then we actually look at Morocco itself and its internal development. Tied to the actual grain plan mentioned earlier, in 2020, Morocco established a plan called Generation 3 that actually aims to drive the modernization of its agricultural sector by opening up a large amount of land that was previously publicly owned, giving out to farmers, and providing financial incentives to local companies, along with greater access to foreign companies, providing investment, aiming to ultimately attract foreign investment and develop that local marketplace. So, with all that in mind, our final recommendation for our entry mode is that any country aiming to do business in Morocco attempt to go and achieve an international collaborative venture where they would be working with a local company, sharing the risks of doing business there, gaining the business acumen of that team and the cultural expertise of the company, avoiding a lot of the cultural risks. This would also incorporate a lot of the current trends in play there. It would take advantage of the local opportunities and development in the country, take advantage of the actual incentives laid out by the government, both for local companies and for foreign investment, avoid the tariffs in place for exportation, and consider a future forward mindset. Understanding that Morocco is placing a high value of importance on actually developing its agricultural sector. By jumping in and actually getting a foot on the ground as early as possible, the company would benefit in the long term greatly.
Thank you, Ken, for explaining our recommended entry modes. Hi, my name is Amalta Muhammad, and I'll be discussing the recommendations for managers to successfully have a market entry. This is what we would call management network solutions. Our main three solutions are building strong personal relationships, forming cooperative agreements, and lastly, selecting businesses partners carefully. Building personal relationships. When establishing relationships in Morocco, it is trust. Trust is a key part of doing business there. Moroccans prefer face-to-face meetings over communicating by email and virtual meetings or telephone. It is highly recommended to commit to making regular business trips to meet our local contacts and gradually build the trust and friendship. Likewise, it is very important to be respectful of the different cultural customs of the country, avoiding conversations about politics and religions that can negatively affect the development of our future business relations. Secondly, forming cooperative agreements. This is a form of strategic alliance, facilitating the development of new capabilities, which include skills, behaviors, human capital, and technology. We can use this because Morocco is considered our host country. So as a firm, it is essential for us to know the local conditions, the legalities, and social norms and culture within Morocco. Lastly, carefully selecting our business partner. Finding a local partner, either a distributor or sales representative, can bring huge benefits for businesses trading within Morocco. It is important to choose a local partner whom we create a relationship with where we feel our interests are protected and not exploited. It is crucial for our company to refrain from signing agreements until they are sure we selected partners, that we are sure our selected partners is trustworthy, and not to give exclusive rights until we test the working relationship. As a result, we will always start with small deals, and once they are successful, we will go on to larger deals. Those are our recommendations for our managers to have a successful market entry in Morocco. That concludes our presentation, and thank you so much for tuning in.